Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to Hall Around Town Radio's Backstage Hall Pass, a showcase of homegrown talent, mixing independent music with personal interviews and a behind-the-scenes look at our music community. Backstage Hall Pass is your front row center seat to some great conversation with the area's most talented artists. Whether you like rock, blues, folk, country, or R&B, Backstage Hall Pass delivers you a daily dose of the stories behind the music. And now, here's the host of our show, Scott Hall.
Good Tuesday afternoon, everybody. How you doing today? Hope you're doing all right out there. Welcome to the program. This is Live at 5's Backstage Hall Pass from the Hall Around Town Radio Studios today. It's Top 5 Tuesday. How y'all doing? Everybody all right? Checking in? Who's checking in today? Karen Sue? Yes. How are you? Yeah. You know, there are places that frown on that, Karen Sue. They do, and they don't let you do live streaming and things like that from there. We went to a brewery in Florida while we were down there in February and wanted to do Live at 5 from there, and they refused. They had to send it through their corporate and all that. It was like too many rules. Too many rules, probably afraid we were going to say something stupid about them or something. So, you know how it is. How you doing, Dirk Turner? Good to see you. Ryan Schwab in the house. Thank you. Let me get this moved up where I can see it. There we go. That's much better. Dewey, how are you? Thanks for dropping by today. Good to see you. Jimmy Kilroy, what's going on? Jamie Combs. Hey, we're talking about the best American rock bands today. It's going to be a little bit of a stretch. I'm adding some people into the rock area that maybe wouldn't be considered today rock and roll, but back in the day, it was considered rock and roll. So we're going to do that. What's up, Dirk Turner? How are you? Steve Stein, Chris and Kenny, thank you for checking in. And Steve Downey, greetings to you, my friend, from Missing November. How are you? What's going on, guys? If you don't know Jamie Combs, check out, if you will, and give a big shout out. Jamie Combs musician. Jamie Combs Musician, I think it's the title of his page. But just look up Jamie Combs. You'll find him. He does a lot of live streaming and some good stuff. So check it out. Also saying hey to Steve Stein from The Times, who's in the house. Ryan Schwab Photography. Dirk Turner from Crying Out Loud here. So if you're out there, guys, give us a big shout out. This is Top 5 Tuesday here on Hall Around Town Radio from the Hall Around Town Radio Studios in beautiful downtown Springboro, Ohio. Just a block and a bridge from a lot of music venues. We are. It's your number one source today for live local music news, bands, venues, and more. And today it's Top 5 Tuesday. So we're going to get into our topic here in just a moment. But before we talk about that, how's everybody doing? You doing all right on a Tuesday? Hopefully you're doing okay. We're doing okay here. Hey, Quentin, how are you? What's going on in the ladder world, man? You doing okay? Yes, sir. Chris and Kenny always in the house party town promoters. And lots going on this week, man. Tonight, Mr. Jamie Combs down at the Bell and the Bear, if you want to check him out, if you're down that way. And, yes, I cut out a bit. It's the live stream. You never know what's going to happen. They are working in our neighborhood right now to put in some new broadband stuff that I'm hoping I can tap into here and have a great upload signal as well, which will eliminate some of the blurriness occasionally and all that. It's so funny though. I checked out my Wi-Fi at home and I've got great speeds and those kind of things, but I had to go check it out. And I've got like 19 devices that run off Wi-Fi in my house. So I had to go around turning some of them off to keep the feed going well. Absolutely. What do we got here? Some folks checking in. Jamie Combs, little comment there. Thank you for that. Yes. And Jamie Combs has that Tuesday night residency at Bell and the Bear. Check him out, guys. If you haven't ever seen him play, you have to. Stoney Doparella, lots of other projects he's involved with. Kevin McCoy, I want to know, man. Send me a message. Let me know what's up with that. I'm ready to have you back on the show too. And one thing before we get into Top 5 Tuesday, real quick, guys, if you know any bands that want to be on Wednesday with the band, we just talk about anything music, but Wednesday with the band, we'd like to get our fall season booked. And we've taken a few weeks off from that, going on vacation, doing those kind of things. We were in Alaska, all those things. But we are back with Wednesday with the band. We've been playing some recasts of those. If you'd like to join us on that, or you know somebody who would, send us a message. We'll get them involved and get a little promotion going for their band as well. Be some good stuff. What's Quentin got to say today? Ready for the weekend? Rock the Blue benefit at Community Lanes in Minster. There you go. All right. Make sure you send me that. We'll get it on Thursday's show for sure. And yes, lame places that won't let you do on location. I get it that some of those breweries, they get a little finicky about their brand and all that stuff. So, whatever. We really had a cool place. It was called Funky Buddha, and it was in over in Fort Lauderdale. And we were going to do the show from there, but they didn't want us to. So we didn't. It's just the way it worked. Say, Zane Gerlach, how are you, man? Good to see you. I know you've got an event coming up too. Send me that. We'll get it put on Thursday's program for sure. And Aaron Thomas with Jamie Combs tonight at Bell and the Bear too, if you want to stop in there, guys. Good stuff. Hi, Carolyn. How are you? Thank you for dropping by. Man, look at all of you checking in. Thanks so much, guys, for being here on this gloomy Tuesday. Yes, it is. Gary in the house. Kent Myers has checked in. How you doing, Kent? I see you dropping by the show. It's good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope to run into you soon. I'm at Burroughs every Tuesday for trivia. You could swing in anytime you want. Yes, sir, you could. All right, guys, let's get it going today. It's Top 5 Tuesday, and today's topic, we are going to get to some fun stuff. Today's topic is going to be the greatest American rock bands. Who's ready for that? I'm ready for your comments. Start throwing them in the comments. Greatest American rock bands. Yeah, just send it to me, Quentin, on Messenger. That's fine. We'll get you in that this week. And if you want to be in a gig group, I'll get you in. I don't know if we've talked about that before. I get so many people that ask about that, and I lose track. We'll put you in one if you want to do weekly submissions. That's for sure. And there we go. There's Zane's shameless plug. Saturday night dance party with DJ Zane at Lucky Star Brewery. Now, Zane, you're a DJing that night, not playing any music yourself, or is that just a DJ gig, buddy? All right. Inquiring minds want to know. All right. There's Dewey throwing Aerosmith in there, the Eagles in there. All right. There's some good votes. Get them in, folks. Get them in. I'm going to go deep in my list to get started today, and then we'll move on up to the top 5 here shortly. So if you have a greatest American rock band, throw it in there. I'm thinking I know what Gary's going to be already. Got some bunch of Eagles votes coming in. There we go. All right, Rick, thank you. Quentin Van Halen. All right, there we go. Nate says he's making people dance in all different ways. There we go. I love it. All right, man. Sounds good. We got a lot of stuff going on a Tuesday, guys, this week. So make sure you throw some comments in here, if you will. And if you have any gigs tonight that you want to promote, throw them in the comments as well. It's yesterday's show got a ton of shares. Thank you for that. For our weekend update, we talked about Pullman Lanes and our friend Hollywood down there. And we talked about the Gerhard Albinus band that we got to see, and tons of shares on that show. Thank you for that, and keeping the numbers rolling on those. And Thursday's show last week was live from the Bell and the Bear. Had a couple thousand views on that one. We appreciate that as well, people. Gary said ZZ Top. He threw that in there. He threw Kiss in there. Of course, I knew that was coming. Aerosmith, Journey, and the Eagles. Thank you. Any particular order there, Gary? Is that your top 5? America, Christopher Kitchell's throwing in, going way back deep. Yeah, you can add contemporary submissions. You can add anything you want, man. This is a free country. It's America. And we're talking about American bands. So throw it in there. Jamie Combs list: Aerosmith, Beach Boys, Van Halen's Kiss, and the Eagles. There we go. And yeah, some of those old ones like Beach Boys, you wouldn't consider them rock bands today, but in their day, that's what they were called. And I'm going to have a few in mind, even ones that may be considered country, but in the day they played rock and roll music. So we'll throw that in there. ZZ Top, absolutely. I agree with that 100%. REO Speedwagon. Now, they met in college. I think they were all American. They all met in college somewhere and played. Where was it? Yeah, it was a college band and then became a hit. Boston's in there. Thank you for that, Steve Downey. Kiss number one. You wanted the best. You got the best. There we go. I don't know. I'm a Kiss fan. I am. I love Kiss, but technically, musically, and I don't know. If they're the number one for me, I don't know. But I will say that Kiss certainly is number one in the marketing department. They took the world by storm in the marketing department, and classic stuff they did. On with the makeup, off with the makeup, back on with the makeup. Band changes, lineup changes, drugs, alcohol, and partying. I mean, that's rock and roll, I guess. It is. Ryan, you can throw anything you want in, man. You know how this show works. So if you've got a newer band, throw it in there. Greta Van Fleet is on my list at number 90. So yeah, I mean, that's a fairly new band. Not real new, but they're fairly new. They're the Led Zeppelin of today, and kind of copy Led Zeppelin a little bit, but still like Greta Van Fleet. Yes, number one time selling albums of all time, Gary. Gary's going to defend his Kiss bunch till the death. He is. Always. And I'm not dogging on Kiss because I love Kiss. I do. I think they're a great band. But what do we got? Rachel saying Leonard Skinnerd. Pretty strong for their unfortunate limited time. Metallica in there. Okay. There we go. Interesting. Ryan saying Shinedown. That's one of his faves. All right. Booker T and the MGs. Thank you for that one going way back, Jamie Combs. That's deep. You went deep in the vinyl closet for that one. That's for sure. And Heath Bowling saying, Gary, they've been out for 50 years. Yes. He is a diehard to the end. Gary is. Yes, he is. Well, why not? He looks just like Gene Simmons. Why wouldn't he? All right, let me dig deep in my list, guys. If you've got some favorite rock bands from America, now we're not doing the British invasion today. That's a whole different animal. But yeah, Dewey says Guns N' Roses and Motley Crue should be there. Who else we got checking in here? Carolyn saying, throwing in the Journey, Three Dog Night, Beach Boys, Boston, Chicago, Van Halen, Queen. Queen is not an American band. So I have to hit the old, hold on, do I have my cancellation button? I might. Yes. Queen is a great band, but no, not American. We're going American. Led Zeppelin, not American, right? Some, not American. So I don't know. You can throw, I mean, Led Zeppelin could be a toss-up. Yes, we're looking for the American bands today. Yes. Steve Stein says Heart. There we go. All right. Well, I'm going real deep. I told you number 90 on my list. Down at number 90, I had Greta Van Fleet in there. If you know Greta Van Fleet, they're a good young hard rock band now of today. Not bad at all. You know, there are people that were considered rock and roll back in the day, like Carl Perkins, who wrote Blue Suede Shoes, things like that. Three Dog Night is at number 89 on my list. Bill Haley and the Comets, Rock Around the Clock, doesn't get any more rock and roll than that. At number 88. There you go, Heath. Gary has corrected you. 48 years, 8 months, not 50. And Dewey Light Event. Thank you, Dewey, for that comment. Appreciate that. How about, let's go back. Susie Quattro. You want to do some of that? That's deep in my list. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers will make the list for sure, Jim Kilroy. Tanya, very sorry for the passing of your sister. And our thoughts and prayers are with you, my dear. as I keep rolling through here, and there's some people on my list that are definitely not rock bands. I mean, they were played in the pop rock category on the radio. Earth, Wind, and Fire was for a while, but really that's more R&B and soul. So we can do that another day. The Kinks are British, I believe, or something to that effect. Eagles have been voted on a bunch. Thank you, Kara, for that. Van Halen, obviously, our friends from Party Town, rolling that in there. CCR. Interesting you say that, because that one's going to rank high in my list. As we roll up through, Lou Reed hits the number 78 spot. And one of my favorite rock and roll bands from the 80s, Motley Crue, even though today Vince couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, Motley Crue at number 74 for me on my list. The B-52s rank in there. They would also rank in the top female-fronted groups. For sure, if we had to do that. We may do that another day. George Thorogood hitting the number 70 spot for me. As I roll up through the list, I'm just highlighting some of these. How about Frank Zappa? Zappa. Yeah. Yes. He could carry a fried chicken bucket. Vince Neil could, he said. Now, from one fat man to another, I can dog on him a little bit, but man, Vince, all that dancing on stage, you'd think you'd be skinnier, dude. And he is, yeah. Vince is on the struggle bus. Yeah. Solo acts are a whole nother thing. You're right, Jamie. And we talked about it being bands, but, they all had a backing band, I guess, but that's very true. So some of them may not really apply today. Alice Cooper, absolutely. He says never got the B-52s. Yeah, I've been to the B-52s concerts several times because they've always played something like Summerfest and been one of the bands there, and they put on a good show. They do. And the crowd loves them. And Love Shack is one of those songs that if I'm ever out anywhere and people are singing, let's just say hypothetically at a karaoke location, and somebody starts singing Love Shack, I go out for a smoke break. I don't smoke, but I go out for a smoke break, if that tells you the love I have for the Love Shack, which is just one of those nails on the chalkboard. And I'm not going to throw LRB, Kara, into the rock thing. I'll take 38 Special, but LRB way too yacht rocky, I guess, if you want to call it that. But not what I'm looking for today. Blue Oyster Cult's in there with me on the list. Cheap Trick made the list at 54. The Pretenders are in there at 51 on my list. And Styx made the number 50 spot. And I love Styx. People hate Styx. I know there are people out there that despise Styx, but I like Styx. I do. What's Party Town saying? Yes. Interesting. You thought they would have been in my top 5. If I were doing 80s glam rock, or as it's non-affectionately referred to as hair bands, I would definitely have Motley Crue up there if that's what I were doing today. But we're talking American rock bands today. So keep them coming, guys. Keep the comments coming if you're out there. We'd love to hear from you on this gloomy Tuesday. Steely Dan on the list. Alice in Chains. Soundgarden on the list for me. The Ramones are in there. How about the Doobie Brothers? I love the Doobie Brothers. Chris and Kenny are throwing Bon Jovi out there. I haven't seen that one yet today. There we go. And yeah, absolutely. Axl knew how to destroy a band, I think. And they were on top of the world, man. They were playing not just arenas, but stadiums. And GNR was on top of the world, and then Axl started acting like a, can I say shithead on the air? I probably can. We'll see if I get censored for that. But yeah, I'm not as bad as Bob Cushing to get censored, but yeah. Bob Seger getting thrown in there. All right. What do we got going here? I can't. Axl better be on time, never on time. Gary throwing interesting ones in there. Foo Fighters. Yes. Yeah. I mean, Shane Foo DeMoss, as I like to refer to him. And then Avenged Sevenfold. There you go. Kara likes the Cars. John Cougar Mellencamp, whatever his name was. Yes, Red Hot Chili Peppers. I believe they were from California. I think you're right, Ryan Schwab. Yes, Steely Dan was a great band. They really were. They were. All right, I got to keep rolling here. I'm running out of time today, but keep them coming, guys. If you're out there, keep the love coming. ZZ Top is on my list. Pearl Jam's on my list. I put Metallica in on there, and I'll give you the number in a minute. Here's one that's going to absolutely crush. Not Chili Pepper at 33. 34 was Boston. Stevie Ray Vaughan was 35. And then jumping back up, 32, the Cars. Joan Jett and the Blackhearts I had in at the 31 spot. Allman Brothers rank in there. Alice Cooper made the 20s. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young made the 20s. Kiss, Gary, I put it 26. Are you mad at me? I hope you're not mad at me. And Heath Bowling saying Steely Dan trash. Is that what you're saying there? Your little emojis. Yes. Bob Seger made 24. Foo Fighters at 23. I love Heart, but they're not way up on the list. They're at 22. More of a pop band for me. Metallica at 21. Pearl Jam at 20. ZZ Top at 19. Yes, skipping a few here. I mean, I could have put Prince and the Revolution in there. Thank you, Gary. My list, not yours. That's true. And you would have made Kiss number 1, and I totally get it. Santana in there at 16. Journey at 14. Guns N' Roses made 13 on my list, minus Axl's Antics. Van Halen at number 12. The Doors at number 11. And I guess technically the Doors are American. They had some players that were British. But yeah, the Doors, and that may have been down the road until the Doors went bye-bye. I think they changed some players early on. Nirvana is ranked there at number 10. Who else has one? Anybody have one? Keep it coming in the comments, guys. I want to hear from you. And now, like I said, please understand, I threw in some crap in here that is not necessarily considered rock today, but it was in the day. Hey, Seven, how you doing, brother? Miss you too, my friend. No Doors member was British. Are you sure? Are you sure that they didn't have a kid? Didn't they have a kid that joined the band? I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of a different band. Maybe I'm screwed up. I probably am. So, if Santana is American, so is Rush. Well, Santana technically was considered an American band. Okay. If you're positive, Heath, you're a Doors fan. I'm not. And Jamie Combs has affirmed that. So that was somebody else I was thinking of. So the Doors are American. Thank you. Part of the 27 Club, Jim Morrison. And Jimi Hendrix also part of the 27 Club. If you ever get a chance to go to the Hendrix Experience in Seattle, go. It beats any Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, anything. I mean, it is an amazing facility. And what a story behind the Jimi Hendrix Experience and all that. It's a big museum. I mean, they've got Gene Simmons costuming from Kiss. They've got it's like the Rock Hall, but I think it's better. Good stuff. All right. Nirvana was way down on my list, Heath. It was. I know you would put it up higher probably. And here's one you're going to laugh at probably that I threw in here at number 7. I'm going to throw in this Johnny Cash. How about that one? Johnny Cash at number 7. Wow. What we got here? I'm seeing Dewey's comment. If I can get my mouse to work, there we go. Dirty Honey's one of the best American bands out right now. Can't get enough. Thank you for that shameless plug for Dirty Honey. Party Town Likes Poison. There we go. And again, they would rank up there in my glam band group. Leonard Skinner made the number 6 spot for me. I did not make the top 5. I'm going to get some hate for that. I am. I will. Are you ready? Let's get to the top 5. Hold on. I've got sound effects for that even. There we go. All right. Top 5 time. Yes, Leonard Skinner was number 6. Bonnie, thank you for that. Hank Williams Jr. then. No, Johnny Cash was considered rock and roll back in the day. Look it up, people. He really was. And I threw that in there just to piss with people. So there you go. Number 5 for me is Aerosmith. Steven Tyler and that giant vocal he has, screaming vocal. He ranked in there at number 5. The Eagles rank at number 4 on the list today. And remember, I did my disclaimer early. It is considered rock and roll, and I had to throw Elvis in there. And I know it's not a band, it's a solo artist too, but Elvis I threw in at my number 3. That's just because it's my list, as Gary said. Yes. Number 2 today, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers for me. It is. And I'm going to show my age here in a minute. Anything counts today because I'm not sure half of them aren't made up of band members from Canada or wherever it came from. There was so much movement that, I watched a special on Rick James the other night and the time he spent in Canada and with the players he was playing with up there who were all huge names in music because they were all dodging the draft. Or, well, Rick James was drafted. He just went AWOL. So, yeah. Tom Petty at number 2. And some of you are probably going to fall out of your chairs at my number 1. It's not what you would think. It's not one of those, big ranking bands that today everyone seems to think about. But are we ready? I think we have a winner. Do we have a winner?
And the winner is...
feel like I ought to be selling butter. All right. CCR made my number 1 on the list. If you go back to real rock and roll, when you think about the days of rock and protest rock and all that through the 60s and that early 70s, you're talking CCR. CCR is in there. So there we go. And thank you, Jamie Combs, for the Johnny Cash endorsement there. I agree. And yeah, I mean, CCR is the roots of rock and roll, man. And they did some things. They went on a limb with a chainsaw running a lot of times. So that's where I threw my list today. If you've got a list and you're watching after we're live, please make sure you drop us a comment. Let us know what you think. And Crosby, Stills, and Nash was down on the list. That was way down there, Heath. I don't know. Where was that? That was way deep. Bon Jovi made it. Yeah, there's a lot of them that you all mentioned that made it. Jefferson Airplane was in there too. I know you didn't like Steely Dan. You could throw John Fogerty in there as well, but I don't want to throw him in as a solo act. Cheap Trick was in there. Oh, yes. Lots of them. Talking Heads. We threw that one in there. Smashing Pumpkins, I forgot to mention. I like that one. So, yeah, there it is. Hey, I'm not still young, Gary. Don't be calling me young, man. I don't want to be considered young. I don't even want to be considered part of that young crowd today. Did I say that out loud? Just lost all of my young viewers, which are right now only 13 viewers. So we're sucking on a Tuesday today, really. No, I did not throw Night Ranger in there. I like Night Ranger. I do. There's some good guitar licks in Night Ranger, They are. My number 2 should be number 1, Dewey said. All right, I'll take that. Tom Petty was up there. It ranks up there. And yeah, we threw the B-52s and they're way deep, Bonnie. But CCR, I mean, they have some of the best albums of all time. It's just what it is. So there. Rat. Negative. Another one. We're gonna have to do hair bands one day. We're gonna have to go back to deep and do hair bands for sure. Yes. And good for you, Scotty Long. Glad you're getting your shameless plug in there, but thank you for that. All right. Yes, we will do hair bands sometime. We will. White Snake. Yeah. No, Coverdale definitely was not from the U.S. I can say that with almost perfect. Yes, whatever. Perfect something. Thanks for watching today, guys. Yes. We'll do female fronted bands too. That'll be a good one. That'll be a great one. And yeah. Let me see here. I have that list somewhere, Bonnie. I'm trying to find it here if I can before I go. And you know, they really I like all I mean, I like Green River, I like Up Around the Bend. I like Proud Mary. I mean, let's face it. Proud Mary, awesome. Born on the Bayou is a killer, but probably my favorite was Fortunate Son by CCR. I'm just going to throw that out there. From the album Willie and the Poor Boys in 1970. So get that one on vinyl, Jamie Combs. Put that on your turntable and put it on TV. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you being here today. We had a great time with you. We will be back tomorrow noon, Wednesday with the band. Please check it out if you will. And if not, we'll see you on Thursday with Who's Playing Out, brought to you by Froggies in Monroe, Ohio, where we feature the best musicians in the tri-state and where they're playing this weekend so you can pick your poison. Lots of Oktoberfest going on. Have music out. Get it in while I am, because before you know it, we'll be shoveling snow, people. We will. Thanks so much for watching today. Hope you had a great time with us. We had a great time with you. We'll catch you next time, I guess. Will we catch you next time? Hopefully, I'll see you soon. We're out of here. Bye-bye, everybody.